very, very important here. I mean, for anything what you do in your life, right? How do you bring value to the table? Why should your company hire you and not anybody else for doing that particular job? You are unique. You are having a certain capability. That's why they are paying you the 10, 20,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh. Right? Otherwise, you would not be here. Somebody else would be doing it. Right? If I was capable of running Infosys, probably Nanamurthy would have hired me. There's some other person. That means that person has those capabilities to do it. Right? And if you want to go on a priority list, or you want to look at it, how much, let me not show you, let me ask you, what in these 4 parameters is the most important? Is it the need, idea, uniqueness, or the test? The test for your idea. Which is the most important? Test, need, uniqueness, last one. Alright? All of them are important. But if you, I mean, look, again, I don't want to give you data points here. Just think for yourself for 2 minutes in the number of things what you do in your life. Your job, you buying your mobile phone, your TV, your refrigerator, your sofa set, everything. The only reason that product is in your house is because it was unique, right? So uniqueness actually takes the bigger part of the pie, right? 50% is the emphasis on uniqueness, right? And the need and the idea take the remaining parts, right? But test is a very, very small part. It's just 2%. I mean, if you want to turn back the numbers on my graph, I was just showing this kind of a pie graph, right? Where uniqueness plays the most important role. So in your idea proposition, right? The first thing what you are, the first thing, the last thing, and almost all, I mean, in all the list of things you have to do, concentrate on uniqueness. You will hit what you want. Until unless you are unique, you cannot do anything. Even personally. Unless you are unique in your job, you are not going to get a distinguished or outstanding rating and get a promotion this September or March, guys, I'm telling you. So that's how it runs. How we identify the uniqueness and concentrate on the uniqueness. Alright? The next part is the startup proposition. Right? Again, this has 4 parameters in the startup proposition. Right? Sorry. The startup cost. Alright? The profit margin. Break-even point. Test. Now I have one that's fine. The 4 parameters. What do you think is the most important here? Startup cost, profit margin, break-even point, or test? Which takes the bigger part of the pie? Pardon? No. The moment you start thinking, I'm sorry to say this, the moment you start thinking of the profit and the end result, close your area. Close your area.
It depends on which phase of the project.
No, we're talking about the basis stage. Idea validation. So I'm at the idea stage. No. No. How come nothing is important? Startup cost is important. Take my LED example. I don't have 1 lakh rupees to buy a cash down LED TV today. So I said, I have to go on my EMI. Right? So my startup cost is 12, I mean, if I look at a 0% interest rate, 8 months if they give, right? 4 months, 25,000 I have to give down payment. That's my startup cost. Am I ready to do that? And I'm ready to bear that remaining 8 months. It's what you have to look at. So the startup cost takes the biggest part of your pie, which is 50%. Alright, so I highlighted this again. The startup cost is the most important aspect for your idea. Last but not least, the most important part is this test. And honestly, the number of people I spoke to, most of them have not looked at this one. 1 or 2 have definitely. I've spoken in terms of idea validation. I mean, it's a very personal understanding. I don't talk about their company. I don't talk about their product. I don't talk about what we did in that exercise, right? But I did 4 idea validations. One is a portal. One is a massage concept. So a friend of mine who's starting a massage concept, right? He's in London School of Business guy. So he started something in massage. It's very cheap and effective massage. So he's coming out with some metrics. So you can, so before I go to the massage, how fresh I am or how energetic I am, and after the massage, it gives you the metric that this fresh you are. So it's a very unique proposition out there, right? So I did massage concept, did a web portal. In the organization, I did about a few service offerings, what us as a product company, but few services aspects and education aspects, what we're looking at, we're evaluating. Most of the time, we forget to do a self-evaluation. And even if you're a startup or if you're working for a company, right? I work for a company as a title, right? Before I take on a project, I always check if I'm passionate about it and I'm going to take it to the end. If I'm not going to take it because I know that is going to be the jacking point of my next episode. So I'm not going to go there. It's better to hear that you didn't do it rather than you did half and it. So for me, not doing it is much better, right? Self-proposition. This has 5 parameters actually what you have to pay attention with, right? Self-analysis, your salary, right? End of the day, money. You need to eat food, right? Work-life balance, right? Your passion, and end of the day, testing yourself if you are ready to take on that up, right? Am I ready to take on? Am I ready to buy the LED TV? Am I ready to buy the Maybach, right? Maybach or whatever. Yeah, my dream car is a BMW. So am I ready to buy my BMW? Am I ready to do my startup? Am I ready to implement my idea? Now, in these 5, what do you think is the most important? Self-evaluation, passion, ability. No, if you don't have it, sorry, if you don't mind. Can you give it in my language? Self-analysis, salary, work-life balance, passion, and test. Passion.
Testing yourself.
Testing yourself. Okay, test.
Self-analysis.
Self-analysis is the most important. Self-analysis is the most important thing because if you don't have the mental support at your home, you're not there doing it, getting your idea into reality. And idea into reality is the definition, looking at the picture of your end product, right? So self-analysis, or sorry, work-life balance is the most important aspect. Self-analysis, work-life balance, whatever, right? That's the most important aspect of validating your idea. And that takes just half of your time, right? For anything you do in life, right? I'm done with this, so I'll give, this is a parking lot, I've just parked few concepts for you. Anything in your life, even stepping out now, taking a bus, just try to use any of these 3 pies, right? And see the results. And if you're an entrepreneur, wannabe entrepreneur, this is a must. This is a must, all right? Don't miss it because you're risking or you're investing your time, life, family. Money comes in dust, guys. I mean, money you can get anyway. We can also beg on the road and we'll get money. That's not a big deal, right? But these 3, if you lose, the top 3 you lose, you don't get them back.
And plus, there's like so much of criticism if you're not able to make it at the end of 5-10 years. Many people are not able to make it.
Right, right, right. Again, it's validating. How many of you have used the Red Bus service? How many of you know Funny personally? Perfect. I always quote his life as an example. Funny for others is a software engineer at Infosys, a typical, I'll put it this way, typical Telgite like me, right? Got out, right? Infosys mein kaam mil gaya, jao, kaam karo, US jao. So what happened one day, he was going home for not wrong, Dasara, right? He was going from home to Dasara, and he didn't get a bus ticket to Hyderabad, right? And from Hyderabad, he has to go to another place called Mehboob, right? That's his hometown. So he didn't get it. So he was scratching his head. So whatever, he went finally and came back, and he said, "There's something wrong with the system. Let me take a different turn." That's how Red Bus was born. And you have no idea how these transport guys refused him because they have to give the commitment. How many use bus transport regularly to go to your hometowns and things like that? All right. So have you? What's the regular fare you pay approximately?
700.
Right. So did you encounter any time or 3 times more fare? You're lucky. Right. Last weekend I was in Hyderabad. It's a long weekend, so I went to see my friend. Rajdhani first AC was 2,400.